Do you remember?
Do you go to bed?
Do you remember where we were? It's been a while. A blind man sees. One day, Jesus walked along, and he saw a blind man from birth, a man who could not see. Jesus' disciples asked him who had disobeyed God, this man or his parents, that he was born blind. Jesus said there was a different reason why this man was born blind. Jesus told them to watch and see the work God had sent him to do. So the disciples watched as Jesus walked over to the blind man and spat upon the ground. He made some mud with the spit and put it on the blind man's eyes. Then Jesus said, "Go, wash in the pool of Siloam." That means sent. And so the man went. And then the man washed.
True story?
Mm-hmm. And do you know what happened then?
What?
Have you heard the story?
Yeah, he got him blind.
That's right. When the man opened his eyes again, he could see. By this miracle, God showed everyone that Jesus had been sent to do God's work. Now, some of the leaders listened to the man's story, but they did not believe that Jesus had made him see. They said, "Jesus, this man is not from God." But the man who had been blind knew better, and he told them that Jesus must have come from God. This made the leaders so angry.
Why? They're bad people.
Yeah, they are. Well, they didn't have the right ideas. That they threw the man out of the temple. Later, Jesus found the man, and Jesus told him that God had sent him into the world.
That's not nice.
No, to make people see that he could rescue them from sin. The man now saw who Jesus really was, and he believed. You read this Bible at church in the morning when we go?
Yeah.
Because we have this Bible. Okay.
No.
A dead man, I'm going to check on it. A dead man is raised to life.
Oh, I love this one.
You do love this one? See, honey, you know all these stories. I know that they're reading this Bible to you. Do you know why?
Actually, I never read this part.
Okay, you might not read this part, but do you know why I know that they read this Bible to you at church?
Yeah.
Because I bought this one from church so that it would match the Bible that they read to you in church. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. A man named Lazarus was very sick. His sisters, Mary and Martha, knew that he was dying. They wanted Jesus to come and heal Lazarus. So they sent for Jesus. Jesus loved his friends, but when he heard Lazarus was sick, he did a surprising thing. He stayed where he was. He did not come right away. Jesus knew God was going to use him to do something amazing. Jesus was going to show God's power over death. So Jesus waited until Lazarus died, and then he went to be with his friends. By the time Jesus got there, Lazarus had been in a tomb for 4 days. Martha met him and said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Jesus replied, "Your brother will rise again. I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live." Do you believe this? Martha said yes. She believed that Jesus was God's King and Son, who was sent to bring life to the world. Then Mary came to see Jesus, and Jesus saw her crying. He went with Mary to the tomb, and then Jesus cried too. Some who were there saw Jesus and said, "Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man also have kept this man from dying?"
Yes.
They did not know that Jesus was getting ready to show them that God had sent him to rescue people from sin and death. Jesus told them to open the tomb. Only then did Jesus step forward and pray, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I said this, that they may believe that you sent me." Then in a really loud voice, Jesus shouted, "Lazarus, come out. And do you know what happened?
He died.
He sure did. God answered Jesus' prayer. Lazarus came out. He was alive. A dead man was now alive again. Jesus showed the people that God's Spirit had power to bring new life. Many people believed in Jesus on that day. They believed, here is the one who will rescue God's people. Here is the one who has become God's place. Here is the one who even rules over death and can bring God's blessing to all the peoples of the earth. The people were ready to make Jesus their king. But that made the leaders angry, and they were jealous of Jesus. They hated him and did not want him as their king. They decided the time had come, and they would kill him as soon as they could.
People.
Yeah, they are. They are kind of bad.
Told ya.
And this will be the end for today. And what number is that for Friday when I see you again? What number?
2.
And what's that number there?
0.
What happened? Can you put 2 and 0 together?
2, 0. 20!
That's right.
Take on the milk.
Beautiful.